of the country. This really jumped out. We asked folks, is it on the right direction or the wrong direction? That 44%, you say right direction, that's up since November. And if that doesn't seem like a lot, the last time it cracked 40%, you got to go back to 2012. The last time it actually hit 44 or higher, January of 2004. So a lot of this is Republicans, but independents, that number is also up since the election on the direction of the country.
Well, the Democrats have had two horrific weeks, and it really just comes down to what Donna said. They've got no leader. They've got no movement. The only thing they've got is Trump derangement syndrome. It's the only thing that brings them together. And the only thing they got out of this week was, well, who's going to primary Chuck Schumer? What are we all about? AOC and Bernie Sanders are the only people in their entire party that can get a crowd of over 20 to show up. So the only thing they are, I mean, they're afraid of Trump. Trump owns them. And it was a total slam dunk for the Republican Party.
What a depressing week for the Democratic Party. I've been warning on this channel for a while that but Trump is not an effective strategy for the Democratic Party. It seems like many people are starting to catch on. And it's not just the fact that, Democrats got no leadership. Democrats got no really principles, no beliefs really. All their beliefs are just political, purely political. For instance, Mark Kelly, a Democrat, if I remember, I don't know if he's part of the Senate. I think he's a senator. Yeah, he's a senator. Mark Kelly decided to trade in his Tesla to buy a gas-guzzling Chevy Tahoe. Yes, you heard that correctly. And this is some of the problems that the Democratic Party always present themselves as opportunists. On one hand, they tell you, we're the party of the climate, we're the party of green energy. Yet, just because a company, a CEO of a company that helps push forward the green agenda happens to agree on Trump or happens to align himself with Trump, they trade in their Teslas to buy a gas-powered Chevy Tahoe. Make it make sense. And things like this always backfires on the Democrats because it shows the reality that, and this is how I take, like, a lot of people who are moderate to left criticize me for being biased. And I admit I can be biased, just like you can be biased. But what I don't tolerate is people trying to project me or box me in. Oh, you're biased, therefore nothing I'm saying is objective. No, I'm still saying objective stuff. Just don't be mad about my commentary on it. My commentary may be subjective for the most part. But what I point to in reality is not. Huge numbers for Trump. President cracked right direction threshold not held since 2004. Remember when Democrats kept saying that Trump does not have a mandate? Well, if Trump doesn't have a mandate, I expected the direction numbers to be the same. But as you saw leading into this intro, Donald Trump cracked 44%, a number not seen since 2004. But Democrats keep saying that Trump doesn't have a mandate. Democrats keep saying Trump don't have a mandate, but Democrats have some of the lowest approval ratings ever. And some of the reasons for that is this hypocrisy thing I'm going to keep pointing out. Change of heart on the filibuster, I see. Kristen Sinema, who now declares herself as an independent. We should protect Roe tomorrow, but Sinema refuses to act on the filibuster. Until that changes, we can't take a seat. We can't take a seat talking about women's access to health care. Hold everyone contributing to this disaster accountable. GOP and Democrats obstructionists included. She should be primaried. Here's the Hill that came out for this year. Rep. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez on Chuck Schumer saying that he'll vote to advance CR. Deep sense of outrage and betrayal. This is how they always act. Sinema woke up and chose violence. And this is happening to many leftists. Many leftists are starting to realize this. And recently I found out there's some leftists, and this is one of the things I talk about MAGA. I said MAGA is a centrist movement. MAGA is a coalition of people who see each other as we're all Americans here. We're all trying to fight for the best interests of America. We're not trying to get America taken advantage of. And this is why when progressives come over here telling me the Democrats are pro working class, I'm like, no, they're not. Republicans are more pro working class than the Democrats are. And look at this. Here's this clip. You got Democrat appointed judges actually getting in the way of Donald Trump's deportation effort. And this stuff like this is one of the reasons why the Democrats have earned the lowest approval ratings not seen since 2012, if I remember correctly. But I digress. Let's take a look.
More on this. Kevin, walk us through what the judge said here. Yeah, and you do see the legal machinery working very quickly after the president signed this proclamation. Only a few hours ago, the judge had already blocked its use from deporting 5 specific migrants that the administration had been targeting. What he has done now is expanded that to include all undocumented migrants who are being held in custody for whom this proclamation could apply. And he said that it was necessary to move very quickly here because, according to the plaintiffs in this case, some of the planes had already been loaded and ready to go to deport these people outside of the United States. And so this is on hold now for 14 days, and a hearing has been scheduled for later this month. But what this act would do, it's the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. It's a centuries-old law that would give the president sweeping authority to deport certain undocumented migrants. It's meant to be used during wartime. What President Trump says he wants to use it for is to deport migrants who are associated with the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. You know, this law has only been used 3 times previously, during the World Wars and during the Japanese internment era during World War II. And I think it all comes against this backdrop inside the White House of frustrations on the part of the president and on the part of some of his advisors that the deportations he promised as a candidate are not happening quickly enough. And this law certainly would have allowed for sweeping authority to begin those deportations very quickly. But like so many else of the president's orders, it has now been blocked by a court, and it will move through the court system as the president and the Justice Department plan to appeal.
Imagine that. So a judge has the power to revoke a law, or Donald Trump's trying to take advantage of a law. Maybe the pretexts are not the same. I don't know. But that should tell you everything about the Democratic Party. Their whole thing is just to get in the way of Donald Trump. Slow down Donald Trump. Even though Donald Trump is doing something majority of Americans wanted him to do. Hey, we agree. Donald Trump should have a mass deportation effort. Why are judges getting in the way of that? And it doesn't help that all the judges that's restricting Trump or trying to slow down Trump from doing to fulfill his campaign promises are all Democratic appointed federal judges. That doesn't help the Democrats' case. And Democrats are sitting there Pikachu face wondering why they have the lowest approval ratings out of Americans. 2026 is going to be a hell of a ride. I'm telling you this now. Trump flying a plane load of foreigners, foreign terrorists out of the country, illegal. Biden flying plane loads of illegals into the country, no problem. And this is the problem people have. I've been talking about this a lot. $150 billion going into maintaining illegals in the country. All the sanctuary states are blue states. Yet Democrats still sitting here thinking they got a shot at winning some power back. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. NBC News poll shows that just 7% of Americans have a favorable opinion of the Democrats, the lowest number ever recorded. Wow. And some Democrats are actually getting confronted with this fact.
The news poll, as you just saw, shows the Democratic Party at an all-time low approval rating. Why do you think Democrats are failing to connect with Americans at this critical moment of urgency, which you describe?
Well, it's what I just talked about. I mean, I think Americans want the Democratic Party to stand up and fight and to take risks. Listen, I understand that had we gone into a shutdown, even for a handful of days, it would have been difficult. But it would have sent a message that the Democratic Party is not going to be bullied by Donald Trump. We are not going to let them write spending bills unilaterally that cut programs for people we care about, that give the president new and extraordinary power. I think Democrats in this country, but I think the broad middle of the public as well, want to see our party fighting in exceptional ways. That is the conversation that has to happen inside of the Democratic Party, inside our caucus. And if we don't get that right, if we continue to work with Republicans, if we continue to hand Donald Trump more power, we are going to lose our democracy.
What is this guy talking about? Your party has the lowest approval rating and you go into, oh, it's because Americans don't see us fighting back against them enough. Donald Trump has the highest approval rating for people believing he's taking the country in the right direction, and your solution to that is resist him more? How does that make any sense? All-time low, guys. All-time low approval ratings. Democrats, this is the most unpopular you've ever been in your history of the party since they started tracking this stuff. And your bright-eyed idea is, oh, we have to oppose Donald Trump. Sure, you can oppose Donald Trump if it's based on reasonable thing. And one thing I noticed, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this too, he's not giving any alternative. He's not giving, we should be doing this. We should be doing that. They keep talking about how he's going to do this. He's going to do that or take power. But Democrats have been catching lines after line. People have been catching Democrats in so many lines. It's not even funny. And this is some of the reason why their approval ratings are an all-time low. Any cuts to the U.S. government funding of medical research will kill millions, says the media. But cuts to the U.S. government spending on COVID research would have saved millions, as they finally admitted. Why can't they see the contradiction? Because Orange Man, Rocket Man bad. We are badly misled about events that change our lives. March 16, 2025. Trump administration cuts put medical progress at risk, researcher says. Like, come on. Come on. You're willing to admit, hey, look, maybe we should cut some funding from the medical institutions. They're using it to create these gain of function researches. Like, what? And it's so funny how the liberals, not the liberals, the Democrats will come in here and try to protect this mess. End of the day, Democrats got their opposition has no substance behind it. They're opposing Trump merely for Trump derangement because of Trump bad. And I warned about this years ago, months ago even. 200 views, I know. My views suck, but I don't care. Trump bad isn't an effective message for Democrats. 4 months ago, I did this video. 4 months ago. 4 months ago. And the Democrats learn? No. Big sigh for the Democratic Party, guys. A big sigh. Big sigh. Because this is some baffling stuff. And now, you got these people here like Jasmine Crockett. Like, if AOC or her becomes the face of the Democratic Party, y'all screwed yourselves, Democrats. Just me being an independent telling you that. You're screwed. Because these people, they got no vision. They got no direction. All they know is blind opposition to Trump. And what blind opposition to Trump is going to get you? Nothing. Former Senator Bob Kerrey calls out the Democratic Party. How many other people weren't paying attention and believed the lies from Biden, Harris, and the DNC machine? Here's a former presidential candidate and senator admitting he was lied to by the Democratic Party. This is the number one reason a lot of people walk away from the Democratic Party, realize they really were conservative the whole time. Because of the fact that the Democrats sit here and pretend that they have everything for everybody, when the reality is, no, they don't. They prioritize certain things. They push out policy that gives certain results. And the results are in. America has the receipts. You supported cutting fraud out of Medicare and all this stuff. You knew, Democrats in 2010 knew that cutting some things out of Medicare wasn't going to hurt Medicare. Now in 2025, Donald Trump is saying something similar, and now they're crying. Now they're saying, no. Because Democrats benefit from status quo. That's the only conclusion you can come to. And Batia, I'm surprised, honestly. When she came out, she said, no, I'm a MAGA leftist. That's what she said. She's a MAGA leftist. Bill Maher almost had a stroke hearing that. He said, what, this leftist that's MAGA? Yeah. If you're a former Democrat and you're saying, Democrats went to ish, this party's more reasonable than them. I'm going to get something of what I want from this party compared to this party that all they know how to do is just resist this guy. They don't offer anything on the table.
I campaigned for Harris. I don't know her that well. In fact, I really don't know her at all. I thought if you asked me before the campaign, I'd say I did, and I clearly don't. And I think among the biggest things that I miss, I was taking Biden and the government's data. There's no massive increase in illegal immigration. The border's secure. It's not that bad. The government data showed like 3 or 4 weeks afterwards, after the election, it was the largest increase in illegals since the 1930s. And the second part of it was it did put downward pressure on black and Latino wages. Mm-hmm. The evidence is there. And we scoffed at it. We didn't just say, you got a good point. We got to take, and we scoffed at it. And
I'm sorry, I had to pause this. And this is why I keep trying to warn Black America. Black America will get mad at me because 77% of them vote Democrat, love Democrats, or like pure, like generational Democratic voters. And they get mad when the new kid in school comes in and challenges all their status quo. I say, yo, this thing that the Democrats are doing, it actually hurts y'all. Letting all these people in, you're the smallest. You're one of the smaller populations in the United States of America. You only make up 13% of the population in the United States of America. If you let millions and millions and millions of illegals come into this country, they will replace you. They'll challenge your position in society. They'll weaken your position. They're going for jobs where you're prominently had more access to compared to other jobs. Black Democrats say, you don't know what you're talking about. You're MAGA, you're a sellout, you're a coon, you're this, that. Okay. But you're not a sellout, you're not a coon. You're supporting a party that's actively bringing in people that could challenge you for jobs, replace you. You want to get mad at Donald Trump because he used the term black jobs, but Biden used it. Y'all had nothing to say. Status quo, this is my argument. Status quo, it has to be challenged at some point. At some point, you have to justify why a group of people should remain voting for a party 77% of the time. But you want to get mad at black men because they're starting to trend towards Trump. Make it make sense. You can't defend the status quo. So your argument is anyone who doesn't align with the status quo is out of the cookout. Then the cookout will remain ignorant and narrow-minded. But I digress.
Huge problem. I go to Graciti's every morning to get the papers and buy whatever I got to eat for the day. And I talk to a lot of people on the way. And there's a guy, an immigrant from the Philippines, and he voted for Trump because of that. He said, "My family and I work like hell. We're U.S. citizens, and you're telling me if I break the law, you're going to give me special favors?" I mean, I'm not anti-immigrant at all. I don't agree with what he was saying exactly, but he voted for Trump. And I'm not sure he was happy voting for Trump.
I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you.
A lot of people like that. Final last words. And this lies the problem with the Democratic Party. You guys got no alternative solutions. Hey, Democrats, this is a problem. What are you going to do about this problem? Oh, no. Don't vote for Trump. He's Hitler. He's evil. He's racist. This is. But this is, no, whatever. You can say what you want about Trump. But this is a problem. What are you going to do about this problem? We're going to make a comprehensive border plan. Okay, what is that? Can you put it in layman's term what that comprehensive border plan is? Oh, we're going to secure the border. Well, you've already been in power for 4 years. You can enact some of this stuff. Why are you waiting until after the election? Why can't you do it now? And we got the Democrats' number. They're a party that look at themselves what is politically convenient and politically expedient for themselves over the state, over the country. And I think this is what Americans are waking up to. This is why you have people calling themselves MAGA leftist. Because the reality is the Democratic Party has exposed itself as a party that only looks out for its own interest over the interests of the country. Therefore, if Democrats are ever in a position where something that's politically beneficial to their party exclusively versus what's beneficial for the American people, Democrats will pick themselves every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. Illegal immigration is the biggest example of this, of what I'm talking about. Illegal immigration, all the data is out there. If you give illegals the option to vote, majority of them, 70% plus, will vote for the Democratic Party. Right now, all these sanctuary cities are increasing the population numbers because all new population growth in America during the Biden years were all illegal immigrants, all immigrants coming into the country. And most of them got soaked up by sanctuary cities, which increased the population numbers in these blue states and gave them more electoral votes. This is the plan of the Democratic Party, but it hurts Americans. And 70% plus Americans are in favor of the census, which is the thing that tracks our population numbers, only to count Americans. Guess what party voted against that? Democrats. You actively go against what the American people, you actively go against the interests of the American people, and you expect to win 2026? You expect the American people to trust you in power? No, that's not how it's going to go. I was shocked to hear that. A MAGA leftist. Wow. But why would that surprise me? If I said MAGA was a centrist movement. I always talk about on this channel how Donald Trump is technically a 1995 Democrat. And Democrats and progressives will still sit here and pretend that the Democratic Party has not become far left. Get the F out of my face. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts and your perspectives. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Please share this video. It really does help me out in the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.